Shalom, shalom. Just got home from work a little while ago. Had to eat something. Shalom, ahab, wa baraka. First and foremost, call halal Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the prophets, and the teachers bringing out this 100% truth at GMS that have been doing it for 30 plus years. Haven't changed anything about what they teach either. So let's get into it. Just want to bring out some scriptures since I got home early. Just want to get into the scriptures. That's all that matters right now. So let's go and start out in the book of Galatians. And let's go to chapter 6. And we're going to start at verse 3. It says, "For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself." But let if you are prideful in your own mind, you're lying to yourself, okay? Let somebody else tell you your works are good. Don't sit there and tell yourself, "Oh, I'm so great." Nobody believes that. If they did, they'd be telling you. So, if you're out there telling yourself you're great, if a man thinks himself to be something when he is nothing, he's deceiving himself. You're literally lying to yourself. So let's keep going. "But let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone, and not another." That's self-explanatory. Let every man prove his own work. "For every man shall bear his own burden. Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teacheth in all good things." Let me read that again. "Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teacheth in all good things. Be not deceived. Yahweh is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." And that goes into when you get into the rewards, because your reward, you're going to reap a reward for your works. In other words, the works that you do, that's what your reward's going to be in the kingdom. It's really simple. That goes into Revelation 22 and 12. "Behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according to his work shall be." So when you go back into Galatians 6 and 7, it says, "For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." So whatever works you're doing in this world, whatever you're doing right now, when this is all over, you're going to be rewarded for the works that you're doing. So you're going to get, if you're doing evil shit, you're going to get cursed. If you are righteous, you are going to get the reward of righteous works. In righteousness means, in faith. You have faith and you're joyful in your works. You can't come out here, know the truth, and then do it grievously and think that's mocking God. That's mocking Yahweh right there. Be not deceived. Yahweh is not mocked. So when you come out here as a false prophet, there's false prophets. I mean, GMS is sifting. I see. I don't want to talk on the other camps because I don't feel that they bring out the 100% truth, but I see people leaving camps all the time. They're always being sifted. And a lot of these people are straight bug outs. And then what they want is for someone to feel sorry for them. No. So, "For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." Remember, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai is not a respecter of persons. So you can ask Noah, you can ask Moses, Yeah, you can ask Noah too, because Noah couldn't close the door. Yahweh had to close it. You can ask Moses. You can ask Aaron. You can ask King David. You can ask Saul. You can ask Solomon. He's not a respecter of persons. He will judge you. And those are our leaders that were getting judged for their wrongdoings. Imagine you not being, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai loved David. So imagine him showing no respect of persons to your works, because all of those people I mentioned had to suffer a recompense for their iniquities against Yahweh. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's go to the book of 2 Timothy. And we're going to go to chapter 4. And we're going to go straight to the point. So, what is the point? You're going to be repaid for your works. So what are our works? This is 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 2. Preach the word. Be instant, in season, out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. So what is our purpose? It's to teach this word. And what does it mean to be instant, in season, and out of season? Well, you know you got to teach in the summer and the spring and the winter. And sometimes in the winter it's real cold, you don't want to go out. And sometimes in the summer it's too hot. That is not what it's talking about. When it says to be instant, in season and out of season, just because when this garment comes off and the camera shuts down, I'm still in the truth. And I go right back to teaching. I don't care if the camera's on or off. I don't need a camera to tell somebody what the scriptures say. And that's all my conversation is. If you know me personally, you will know that there is no conversation with me unless it is the word. If it's not pertaining to the truth, you will not hear from me. I don't have anything else to say. I've lived the worldly life. So when it says preach the word, that should be the only thing that's coming off your tongue when you speak to other people. We're in the final days. There's nothing else to talk about. I don't fucking like sports. How's that? I don't like sports. I never have. I can't remember watching 10 Super Bowls ever. I remember going to 2 Super Bowl parties in my whole life, and that's during the time that I was not in the truth. I don't like none of that shit. I have nothing to talk about other than scripture. So when it says preach the word, it's saying teach. Play the song of the 144,000 as much as you possibly can. To be instant, in season, out of season. When the camera turns off, it doesn't mean that I stop teaching. Okay, I'm not going to say anything about the Bible until I turn the camera on again. Or if I'm going to say something, I have to have the camera on. Got to do this, got to do that. No. It's saying, like, when you have your designated time that you go out on the streets, okay, cool. But when you're not on the streets, you should still be exhorting the children of Israel. It doesn't have to be a videography, I guess, every time you talk to somebody. You don't need to always. It's like, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I love watching the video, so don't get me wrong. I'm saying that there will be times where you don't have a chance to put your camera on, or you might be doing something and the Spirit comes on you. The word has to come out. You might be just anything, any aspect of life. I'm thinking of all these little examples I can bring out, but any fucking thing you can think of. If somebody needs to hear the word and you know the word, you should tell them the word. There's been so many times where I've like, the Most High, this person will keep walking past me, passing my path. And the Most High is like, speak to him, speak to him, speak to him. And what do? I suck them in, take the deep breath, and I tell them, this is really hard to say sometimes, but the Most High put the Spirit on me to tell you something. And 99% of the time, if the Spirit's on me that strong, guess what? That person needs to hear something. And the last person that he put the Spirit on me that strong to speak to, he legitimately said, you're the third person that said that to me in the last week. I said, he's coming to get you. If you're talking to me, I'm your last resort. You need to come back to this truth. So be instant in season and out of season. Just because you don't got the garment on, it's not Saturday afternoon, doesn't mean you're not teaching. You're teaching whenever that Spirit comes on you, whenever the Most High says, teach. Now, that doesn't mean every single person you see, I got to teach. It says, cast not your pearl among swine. So why would he put the Spirit on you to cast your pearls among swine? So just think about that. Why would he tell you to share this great wisdom and doctrine with people who aren't going to accept it? Now, some people, they're just getting there. And the one guy, man, the last guy, it really compelled me because we were at work. And I felt like I remembered him from somewhere, too. And then he came up to me and finally said something because I was just like, I could feel that Spirit telling me what to do. And I was just trying to figure out a way into a conversation because if Yahweh says, Bahad Shem Yahweh Shai says do it, and the Rukwakadash is on me, then I have to do what the Spirit directs me to do. Prove it. Let's prove it. I bring this out all the time. This is a go-to because I want people to remember you don't have control. You're not the one in control. Yahweh is the one in control. He has full control over everything. So when that Spirit comes on you, and when the dude he came up to me, like I said, and he goes, oh, I remember you from somewhere. So we actually did cross paths before. And then, boom, I instantly started hitting him with who he was, what he is. He goes, oh. And it turns out, I had told him these things before. And then he told me, oh, well, you know, it's been, you've been like the third or fourth person that's told me this in the last week. I can't remember what it was. There was a few people that had already spoke to him, is what I'm saying. So, I just want you guys to remember this. This is Job 33 and 14. For Yahweh speaketh once, yea twice, yet man perceiveth it not. 15. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instructions. So, today you're going to go work on this job site, you're going to cross this person's path, I'm going to put this Spirit on you, and you're going to speak to him. And you're going to tell him what I want you to say. Don't worry about what you're going to say at that time because I will speak for you. Remember he told that to Moses. So there you have it. Be instant in season and out of season. I wasn't expecting and you can never expect it, but the instructions were for me to speak the truth. The instructions for him were to cross my path and then finally come up and say, I remember you from somewhere. So let's keep going. Let's get back into the class. I'm sorry. It's a little story. People tell stories sometimes. I'm no stranger to telling stories myself. But it's a true story. That happened about a month, I guess, November, sorry. I can't remember these Gregorian calendar months. I'd like to forget them. I can't wait until we go back to what the real truth is. All right. So, let's go back to, I'm just going to jump around a little. Told a story, so I'm just going to grab some precepts, and then we're going to get back into it. So, like I said, we are required to preach the word, right? And the Most High is going to take care of the rest. But when the Spirit comes on you, you preach the word. So when you're going to be instant in season, out of season, what else do you have to do to show yourself approved? It's 2 Timothy 2, and we were already in 2 Timothy. So go to chapter 2 from verse 4 and go down to verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So you've got to study this word, and it's really important. You can't just, the Spirit ain't on you so strong that you just know the Bible. That's Christianity 101. That's what they do. We study this truth. That way, when somebody does ask a question, be instant in season and out of season. What if all your brothers are there, but you don't study, but they're all studying? Think about it. You're not studying, but they are. So in season, when you're at camp, yeah, everybody's got the truth, and you kind of can just blend in. But when it's out of season, and now somebody's asking you a question, and you're not studying, you just showed a disapproval unto Yahweh. You have to study to be able to be instant in season and out of season. So study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. I'm sorry about the long-winded story. I'm still wondering if I should even bring up the class. So let's keep jumping around. Let's go to the book of Proverbs. And we're going to go to chapter 23. And we're going to go right to the point that's in verse 20. Well, let's check first. Let's just get the point. It's in verse 26. So go to Proverbs 23 and verse 26. And it says, my son, give me thine heart. Give your mind over to me. Let that worldly garbage go. Get back into the truth. Focus on the truth. Be in the truth. Study to show thyself approved. How do you do that? Well, you've got to, my son, give thine heart to me, and let thine eyes observe my ways. Let thine eyes observe my ways. So another thing about being instant, in season and out of season, you have to be an example. So he's saying, observe his ways. Give your mind over to him. So what do you do after you observe? There's a thing called application. You have to apply what you observed to your life to be that example, to be in season and out of season. It's not just one little thing. See, everybody thinks, I can do, and I can be this, that, and the third. It's so easy. No, there's levels to this. That's why you have the elder apostle Tahar and down, all the way down here to me, not even in GMS camp. Not even in the camp, but still, I'd rather be not in a camp teaching the truth with the camp than in a camp as a captain or a general teaching people lies and taking money. In fact, filthy lucre, is that being instant in season and out of season? Is that being a righteous man of God? Is that giving your mind and your eyes over to observe his ways? So when did Yahushua take money from the people? And you know what? I got challenged with that today. My company gave me a check on top of what I already make for over $200. And I was just like, this is a check for over $200. And then it said reimbursement. And like, you know, I'm an Israelite. I'm falling short just like everybody else. So to see the numbers that were on that check, those are almost match up to how much money I needed to make it through the week, almost to the penny. But this is a challenge. It says, in the commandments, in the Levitical law, thou shalt not steal. If they mistakenly give me a check and I cash it, did I steal from them? Yes. Yes, I did. Anybody that said I didn't, you're a moron. Yes, it's stealing, because once they audit it and then try to figure out, oh, well, we paid for this and then we reimbursed him. And we paid for it. They're going to see that. So it's a test. And of course, instantly I said, hey, what am I being reimbursed for? You guys don't owe me money for anything other than what I've worked for. I'm not getting trapped up in anything. So I immediately, within 5 minutes of receiving the check, called the main boss. He came down from wherever he was at within an hour, and he picked the check back up personally. And you know what I noticed? They didn't even care. They looked at me more like, what are you doing wrong? I'm like, bro, I'm the one that was being what I would consider righteous in our culture. Their culture, it's probably like, they probably think I'm weird for not trying to fucking steal it. Oh my God, this guy just, there must be something wrong with him. Because in this culture, stealing is the way you're supposed to do things. Look at our government. But, anyway. What does taking money from the people, going back to the truth again. I'm sorry, I just remembered that. I got challenged today. I don't know if I passed or failed, because I could have stole from those people, but I don't see anywhere in the scripture where it says it's okay to steal from your enemy. It says, thou shalt not steal. It doesn't say, thou shalt not steal. I'm only talking about Israel. No. I've seen plenty of times where we were told not to take a damn thing from these people and to burn it all, even the gold and the silver, just burn everything. And there's, we all know that, all of my buddies that say I'd have to bring out a whole other class. Anyway, going back to being instant in season and out of season. A true prophet is not going to take from the people. A true prophet would give to the people. A true prophet isn't going to beg for money at the end of teaching you. A true prophet is already going to have his life in order where he doesn't need anything. The Most High even told us, don't even take nothing with you. Just, I'll take care of everything. So our faith will protect us. Our faith will take care of us. Most people don't know how that works, but people that have had to live off of faith for a while, we know that there's truly a Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai out there that is protecting us. Let's move around a little bit more. I hope the Most High puts the Spirit on me to bring this class out, because there's a lot of classes that I bring and then I don't put them up, because I don't feel like they're good enough. So hopefully this one will pass the test. All right, Colossians chapter 4, going to the point. Let me see it. You know what? I'm starting from the top. What did I just say? What did I just say? I'm so glad that the Most High put the Spirit on me to bring out that story about giving the money back and not taking from anybody. Watch this. And then I went back into saying, like, knowing that somebody's in season and out of season, they wouldn't take from the children of Israel. They wouldn't do a sermon and ask you for something. Let's get this. Colossians chapter 4, starting from the top. Masters, give unto your servants that which is just and equal, knowing that ye also have a master in heaven. Woo! Continue in prayer and watch in the same with thanksgiving. With all praying also for us, that Yahweh would open unto us a door of utterance to speak the mystery of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, for which I am also in bonds. Beautiful. That I may make it manifest as I ought to speak. Walk in wisdoms towards them that are without, redeeming the time. Now here we go. Here is the point. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man. How are you going to do that? How are you going to be seasoned with, let your speech be with grace and be seasoned with salt, that you ought to answer every man. So to be instant, in season, and out of season, it's telling you, you have to be able to answer every man. How are you going to do that? Let's go back to, because I don't want to paraphrase it, I want to go back to 2 Timothy 2:15 though. It says, study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. That's right. I'm going back to the basics. I'm going to be very redundant and repetitious. And by the time the Yahweh comes and gets me, you're going to remember the verses that I teach, because I'm going to keep teaching the same thing until you get it through your thick skulls. Let's keep going. Ephesians chapter 6. And let's start at verse I'm going to start at verse I'm going to start at verse I'm going to start at verse 18, just because that's where I want to start, I guess. It's where the Spirit is on me. Let's just say it like that. That's where the Spirit is on me to start. So go to Ephesians chapter 6, starting at verse 18. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all preservation and supplication for all saints. And for me, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel. I want to be able to be confident, to open my mouth boldly, knowing that what I'm saying is the 100% truth for the last 30 plus years. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Waha Rakwa Kadash. The Wada Wabaraka Tha Abba, for giving us the truth back and giving us the elders. For letting me study with people that are like-minded and not having to be around like IUIC and Sakari and Sons of Thunder and HOI and Watchmen for Israel. All of these people, every time I watched them in the beginning, I was just like, ISUPK. There's always some little glitch with them. And I figured out what the glitch is. They're all doing something wicked on the side. Whether it's taking money from the people, destroying families, IUIC, right there within your own church, charging for doctrines. There's so much going on. All we want to do is bring out the truth. To be bold in the truth, knowing that we're telling the truth. Let me keep going. For which I am an ambassador in bonds, that therein I may speak boldly as I ought to speak. Boldly, knowing the truth. Boldly. But that ye also know my affairs and how I do. Sorry about saying these words and chewing them up wrong, but Tychicus, a beloved brother and faithful minister in Yahweh, shall make known to you all things. So he's telling him this person's going to teach you something. And I think this is where we got the point. Whom I have sent unto you for the same purpose, that ye might know our affairs, and that he might comfort your hearts. So, back in the day of the Ephesians, Tychius was, probably saying that wrong, but he was sent as a faithful minister in the name of Yahweh to bring out the 100% truth. So how do we relate that to today? We say, oh, well, that's like, I'm not saying that Elder Apostle Tahar is Tychius. Of course not. I'm saying that he is playing that same role as Tychius by being that faithful minister in Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and he's making known to this generation all things. So the Wadwa Barakatham, first and foremost, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Wahara Kwakadash. And then secondly, double honors. Double honors to Elder Apostle Tahar for standing strong. And just think how many times they've offered him a bag. And how many millions of dollars Nathaniel IUIC, who Elder Apostle Tahar taught. He has $150 million the last time we checked. And Elder Apostle Tahar is still sitting in the same place, but he has just as many people in his camp. So he never took that bag. He never got paid off. So the Wadwa Baraka because he also gave us an example of how to conduct ourselves. And he made known, in fact, let me say it again. He's a faithful minister in Yahweh, and he shall make known to you all things. So really, that covers everything. He's done that for 30 plus years. Elder Apostle Tahar and down. And I'm not leaving anybody out, but he is the main elder. So, let's keep going. Whom I have sent unto you for the same purpose, that ye might know our affairs. So that we might also get to know that 100% truth. And that he might comfort your hearts. This oppression gets you fucked up in the mind. To comfort your heart means to ease your mind. Knowing, wait a second. This is all about us. Them damn Christians were teaching us a slave Bible. They were teaching us to be slaves. In the Maccabees, I'm pretty sure it was Jason. I have to go back over it. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure it was Jason who said, I know how to get the Israelites to separate from Yahweh. You just got to keep them from following. So he shows them the laws. He's like, they just keep them from keeping these laws. You take them away from these laws, and Yahweh will turn his back on them. And what did they do? You go to Maccabees, 2 Maccabees 6 and 6. Let me just get it real quick. Let me just get it. What did they do when they found out that all you have to do is separate us from the laws and we will be separated from Yahweh? Well, 2 Maccabees 6 and 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. They knew what they were doing. They've been doing this. So now we're able to come back to the truth. We're able to understand what happened to us. The veil has been lifted. So when he's telling you be instant in season and out of season, he's saying go back out there. You know the truth. You're lucky because I gave you the truth. I showed you what to do. I gave you ministers that will help you in this truth so you can go out and be instant in season and out of season. We have been to hell and back, but there's more people that need to wake up before we get to go home. So let me read it again. Let me read it again. We know the truth and we have to give that back. So, but that ye also know my affairs. Let me just get it. But ye may also know my affairs and how I do. Titius, a beloved brother and a faithful minister. That's Elder Apostle Tahar in our time. He's not Titius. I don't want to just decide that somebody is somebody else from the ancient times, because that's not really my place. But I'm saying that we were sent a faithful minister in Yahweh, okay? And it's time for us to wake up and take those faithful ministries and put them to use. So, beloved brother and a faithful minister in Yahweh shall make known to you all things. Now that we've been given truth for the last 30 plus years, we've got to be instant in season and out of season. Whom I have sent unto you for the same purpose, that ye might know our affairs. And what is our affairs? Go out into the highways and hedges and preach to the wind. Okay? And that he might comfort your minds. So our minds are now comforted. We know that we're the children of Israel. We know that we just need to get back out there. We need to be out there teaching. I stopped going out by myself because I'm not a lone wolf spirit. And if the Most High sent me people to be in the truth with me, why do I want to go and sneak out by myself? I can just teach right here. And now on Saturdays, I can still go out and study under GMS. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. I've been studying under GMS the whole time. They weren't even in Arizona, in Tucson. They came to Tucson like about a year ago. 6 months. But anyway, let's get back into it. Let's jump around some more. I got a couple more verses, and then we're gonna close it down. Let's go to the book of Luke, and let's go to chapter 14. And we'll jump down to, I'm just going to go right to the point is in 23. And the Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and the hedges and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. So this is our purpose. Elder Apostle Tahar already made us known in all of the affairs of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. So now, since we have been given that Requa Kadash, we have to go out, and what do? Let me read it again. And the Lord said, and Yahweh said unto the servant, go out unto the highways and the hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. So all we're doing is what we're told, but all we're doing is following these instructions to show our faithfulness, our undying faithfulness. Be cheerful in thy low estate. I'm gonna be cheerful by showing my faith. That's cheerfulness. I still have faith. I don't care what happens. Like Job. I mean, he never turned his back. He wasn't sent down as a... Job was... he was proof of faithfulness. He was the... he's the template of faith. Satan did everything and was given permission to do everything. So Job lines up with Sirach chapter 2, 1 through 5. But in verse 5 it says, gold is refined in the fire and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So when you go into Job, he was refined in the truth so well that when Satan tried to burn him into dross, there was no dross on him, and he was still golden. And Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai in the end gave him double what he had before he was already a very wealthy man, and he gave him a double portion of that wealth. Anyway, going back into it. So, what do? We go out in the highways and the hedges, and we compel them to come in, that the house may be filled. And And like I said, just like Job, it's going to be tough. You're going to have, if thou comest to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. It's tough when you're at the very last end. You're in the fourth quarter. There's a few minutes left in the game. You're tired. You're worn out. But we got to continue in this fight until the fight is done. You got to get your Mike Tyson on and step in the ring and start fighting again. And start fighting strong, because all of the people that are being sifted, all of the Christians, all of the fake camps that are trying to just get monetary gain, financial gain. So we've got to fight back too. We've got to stand strong in this truth, because if no one's bringing out the truth, if no one's teaching the truth, then they're all going to fall into the hands of the oppressor, and surely they will all die. So, dead in spirit, instantly. So let's go to Luke chapter 19. Let's get verse 47. That's where the point is. You know what? Why not? Why not? I was just talking about how, you know what? No, let's just stick to the point. And he taught daily in the temple, but the chief priests and the scribes and the chief of the people sought to destroy him. So, like I said, there's going to be temptation. There's going to be trials. There's going to be tribulations. Gold being refined. How do you refine gold? You burn it. So it's a metaphor for trials and tribulations. Acceptable men, furnace. What is a furnace? A place where you burn things. What is adversity? Trials and tribulations. So, and he taught daily in the temple, but the chief priests and the scribes and the chief of the people sought to destroy him. But he was still instant in season and out of season. He was still instant in season and out of season. And they could not find what they might do, for all the people were very attentive to hear him. Why? Because he was teaching, this is Yahushua, he was teaching 100% truth. He was showing us in the way in which we should go. All Christians tell you that you're supposed to be like Yahushua, but but then they do the opposite, and then tell you can't keep the laws because it's impossible to keep the laws, and God will hate you for keeping the laws. I mean, they got some real fucked up doctrines going on out there these days. And now, all of a sudden, all nations can be saved. What in the Christianity is going on with Israel? So my brothers in the truth, that's so important for us now to be more than ever before the famine of the word comes. It's like it's like when you got a broom and a dustpan, and there's just that little bit of dust that's left. That's what we're scraping for right now. Most of the Israelites have put their line in the sand and know who they are. So there's just that little bit of dust left. There's some gold dust down there on the ground. I can see it. And you sweep it into that dustpan and you put that back into the fire. And the fire is the word of Yahweh. And some of that is going to be beautiful, bright, shining gold at the end. And all those little particles will join together in one beautiful piece of gold. But there's going to be some dross that gets burned out of there too. What is dross? Trash. So let me get I just want to get one more verse and close out. But what is this all for? Why are we doing this? What is the end result? Do you know the end result is listed in the beginning? So let's go back to the beginning of the Bible, where they tell you not to read. They tell you it's all done away with. But then they'll randomly nitpick scriptures from what they call the Old Testament that's done away with. They'll randomly nitpick scriptures out of there and still try to use them. But what I'm going to do today is show you what we're doing this for. What is all of this about? Why are we doing all these things? So, I'm going to read this to you guys real quick. I'm not going to break any of it down because it's very self-explanatory. And I'm going to close out here. So, this is what we're working for. Okay? This is what it's going to be like in the kingdom. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, where all the curses are. Remember chapter 28, 16, all that? Well, guess what? All the blessings are in chapter 28 also. Let's start from the top. Deuteronomy 28:1. And it shall come to pass, if thou hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. What did I tell you? What's this end result? The end result is that the Israelites are going to go back into rulership. I told you the beginning, the end is all listed in the beginning. Go out into the highways and the hedges. Preach to the wind. Be instant in season and out of season. Why? Because he's coming back for his children. And if you think that you're part of the elect, sign up and go out. I mean, make sure that what you're saying lines up. And if it doesn't, correct it. Only person that's going to be in this kingdom is the people that conform to the 100% truth. So let's keep going. And all these blessings shall come upon thee and overtake thee, and thou shalt hearken unto the voice of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Blessed shall thou be in the city, blessed shall thou be in the field, blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be the baskets of thy store. Blessed shall be when thou comest in, and blessed shall be when thou goest out. The Lord shall cause thine enemies to rise up against thee, and be smitten before thy face. Isaiah 66, 15 and 16. Going into the sparkling arrows. Let's keep going. And the Lord shall cause thy enemies to rise up against thee, to be smitten before thy face, and they shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways. The Lord shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses, and in all that thou settest thine hand unto, and he shall bless thee in the land which Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai giveth thee. And Yahweh shall establish thee an holy people unto himself. What about everybody else? Nope. Just Israel. Yashar Allah. And he hath sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai and walk in his ways, all the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name Yahweh. You are called by the name of Yahweh. And they shall be afraid of thee. Does that not sound like what's getting ready to happen? So when all this stuff goes down, we can go into Revelation, and this is our end result after he destroys this place. Don't you get it, what we're working for? I got to be instant in season and out of season. I got to be teaching this truth. I got to be under the elder Apostle Tahar that's been doing this since I was a little kid. The first time I remember, I was a little teenager skateboarding, and I saw him on the little talk show. And I remember the Spirit coming over, going, oh, yeah, they right. And you know what I did after it was over? I went back outside and skated. The Most High wasn't ready to deal with me yet. But I know one thing. It still resonates with me to this day, remembering seeing that and then seeing it again in the truth and knowing what I was missing out on. It tears me apart because I could have been in season back then. And I didn't know it because Yahweh kills. He makes alive. He wounds. He heals. There's nobody else with him. There's no false God with him. He's doing all this by himself. So he didn't let me in the truth. And that goes back into what I was talking about earlier. Job 33 and 15. He seals your instructions. We don't have nothing other than, and so for when we don't have nothing other than what he gives us is what I'm saying. So for when you are able to break down these scriptures and you take a pass all the time, I get real lazy. That's why I got off early today and I'm pushing myself. You know why? Because when the other Akia from the GMS camp told his dream about the 3 different tiers and how they were given the crowning ceremony. It was literally the crowning ceremony of the Israelites. And he said that a guy came from the men and the women out of the crowd, and when he got up there, they cut his head off. And can you imagine? I did not know you. So was he out there instant in season and out of season? Was he teaching the 100% truth? Or was he out deceiving the people? Or was he just folding his napkin and just kind of like, oh, I'll do it later. Maybe, I'm scared. I can't do this. I can't do that. So what was he doing? That scares me. So I'm trying to do everything I possibly can to let this Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, let the Most High know that I'm ready to do the work. And I be working morning till night all the time. Some nights I don't get home until about 7 or 8 o'clock, and I go to bed at like 8 or 9 o'clock. So I'll come home and go straight to bed some nights. But anyway, enough about me. Because yes, this shit really scares me. And when I heard the dream, it put more fear in my heart than I've ever had in my life. I thought it was supposed to be a great dream, but that dream was like, that could be you. You could be the one getting axed. So, let me keep going. And the Lord shall, and all the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushai, and they shall be afraid of thee. And you know what? I think you guys get the point. I'm going to stop there. And if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, I can only pray that you're able to get something out of this message. Shalom.